Persons under 18 will not be admitted.
Appreciate your choosing our theater. And to make this experience more enjoyable for everyone, we hope you'll refrain from talking during the show. Enjoy the movie. Thank you.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. We have very active lifestyles. It's not all wandering the countryside aimlessly or scaring passing motorists. And we all love a good cup of joe. And there's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. Bold, robust, delicious. It's coffee that can wake the dead. With over a dozen different roasts and flavors, Deadly Grounds can satisfy the most finicky of coffee addicts. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for, and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Hey, happy Wednesday, everybody. Speaking of devil, I'm drinking some right now. Graveyard Grog. They got chocolate peanut butter.
Well, that sounds good.
I'm Leo. I'm the monkey behind the keyboard here. And as always, Ben.
What's happening, everybody? Yeah, it's that time of the week, isn't it?
Yeah, Jeffrey.
Happy Wednesday. Hump day.
Hey,
Hump
I was going
day.
to say that.
I usually don't get laid on hump day, though. Even though it's hump
What day do you get laid on?
It's usually a random day somewhere at the beginning or the end of the month. Unless I'm by myself.
Right.
So
All right,
we got a great
Wait,
show.
I need to ask, like, is it like a scheduled day of the month, and do you like sleep in, like, you see in the old black and white shows where they're in their own bed,
What are you trying to say, Leo?
nothing.
So moving forward, we got a great show, great guest. I'm looking forward to chatting with this gentleman. Let's welcome J.J. Cohen. How you doing,
Hey, can I
JJ?
just tell you? Can I tell you guys something? That opening was fucking bitching, man. It was pumping. It started off. It had all the elements. Very happy, very proud of all you guys. That's not what was there a year ago, and it looks fantastic.
Oh, that was all Leo.
That-
Think
yeah.
about it,
Seriously, Leo, that was
That was
great. I'm not just
Yeah.
sucking up. It was really awesome.
Well, thank you.
It's
He
not
does-
like I'm just trying to be best guest ever on the show,
Yeah.
but
You know what?
I'm just saying. Hey, speaking of having sex, Jeff.
Oh shit! Here we
Yeah.
go.
Speaking of having sex with Jeff, no, there was a question once asked. Actually, somebody asked me the other day. They said, "How often, since you're a single guy, how often do you have sex?" And I say, "I have sex almost every day." And they say, "Wow, almost every day." And I say, "Well, Sunday, I almost had sex. Then Monday, I almost had sex. Tuesday and Wednesday, together, both almost had sex." So, yeah, it goes like that. Boom, boom. Hello. All right.
Go ahead, Leo.
Go ahead.
I saw you reaching.
Hold on. What's happening to it? How come it's not working?
Give me the sound effect. Boom, boom. What is it? A rim shot? No, or that one. Okay.
Right.
That's the sound. That's the sound she makes, actually, after it's done.
Well, speaking of rim shots, I mean, I suppose that's your sex lately, right?
All right.
I'm getting
Anyway,
silence.
Were you talking to me?
Yeah.
Were you talking to me? I didn't even get it.
You didn't even get it. Okay, that's all right. Zoom.
It shows.
And Ben Indica.
oh, okay.
Yep.
All right. So that's what worked for you. Stay with it.
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds good.
And Jeff,
Is
your
it-
mic's really low, so I don't think you're coming through your headset. I think you have to go into your settings and adjust that again.
What?
Yeah.
And then you can try that rim shot joke again. So what's going on, guys? How you doing? Thanks for coming on. Thanks
Oh,
for
well-
having me. I mean,
Well, thanks for having us. I mean, what? Yeah,
yeah.
So, welcome to our shit show. Apparently,
Well, the opening was good.
yeah. And then you and Jeff, I don't know what happened, man. The
Since
train
we came
derailed.
on live, I don't know what's going on.
They make me make a new intro every season.
No, I did not know that. Is every season once a year?
They force
Yeah.
me to make a new intro. No, I'm just
Well, that music, I mean, seriously, like the music you're using for that is really pumping. I mean, it's really it's really fantastic. Like
Yeah,
I was bopping my head. I'm a closet drummer. I don't know if you ever knew that.
I knew that.
Oh, that's right.
I knew
You
that.
guys had,
Can
go
you hear
ahead,
me
tell
now?
the
we
story,
had
Ben.
Courtney Gaines.
That's right, from Children of the Corn.
Yeah.
And I and the late Christoph St. John, who passed away, we had a band many, many years ago.
Right.
And I was surprised when you sent me, Ben sends me a text. Like I had already come on the show a year ago, whatever. And then Ben sends me a text like, how come in all the hours that we've talked, I never knew that you were a drummer? And I was like, what? How did you find that out? And he goes, Courtney Gaines was on. And Courtney and I, a lot of people don't know this, but Courtney and I have done 3 movies together, or 3 movies or TV.
Really?
Do you happen to know what they are?
I don't. So,
Do you want to take a guess? I'm saying. Do you want
I
to take
don't.
a guess?
Valley of the Dolls.
No, but that's not a good guess.
I didn't think it was either because yeah.
So Back to the Future,
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Secret
yes.
Secret Admirer,
Secret Admirer.
and what the hell's the other one? The Mission, with directed by the Amazing Stories episode.
Wow.
That Kevin
Yes, that was-
Costner was the pilot. I was the co-pilot. Steven Spielberg directed the episode. It was
I wouldn't have
cool.
guessed that one. I wouldn't have guessed that one.
We were, yeah, Courtney and I were like best friends when we were like 15, 16 years old. We spent a lot of time together. He's actually the one that turned me on to The Song Remains the Same, Led Zeppelin,
Yeah.
and that movie, and Bonham, and the whole thing. I want to say he's the first guy I smoked pot with, but he's not.
Yeah.
Let's blame Courtney.
Yeah.
No, but I would love to. Courtney, he sends me emails every now and then. I don't know if you guys are on his email list. Whenever he does like a new song, and he's trying to make a go. I don't know if he's trying to make a go of being a professional singer or musical artist, but I know he's taping stuff and putting, like albums out.
No, I didn't
So
know that.
cool. Yeah, some of his stuff's pretty good.
Yeah, you'll have to tell him to put us on his email list, because we can actually take some of that if it's on Spotify and put it up on the radio station.
Well, you know what? Better yet, why don't you guys, since there's three of you and one of me, and I'm planning a cross country tour right now, why don't one of you guys send him a message?
Okay.
That'd be great. That'd be great. One less thing off my plate.
Oh, I was just trying to get you to do some work for me.
No.
And Ben, what is that radio station?
Dead Dork Radio, WDDR.
Which we're streaming live right now.
Dead Dork Radio.
Hello, everybody in Radio
That's
Land.
awesome.
Unfortunately, if you're in Radio Land, you can't type into the chat, and we don't want to open a phone line, so I guess you just get to listen tonight. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, so for those of you people who don't know how I met these guys, particularly, I think it was Ben first. And then I realized he told me, Jeff was his partner, and they were doing this. At the time, it was just a comic book. Now it's turned on to a TV show and a music video and a limited series on Netflix.
In a live broadcast show.
Yeah, right. No, Netflix hasn't called us yet.
Not yet. But
No.
I have faith in you guys. But what happened was we were supposed to do this horror con called Wicked Weekend in Mystic, Connecticut, and it turned out that the promoters, I guess, were scammers, and the show basically got canceled. Some people lost money, and it didn't move forward. I was coming on as a celebrity guest, and I guess you guys were going on as vendors, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we got canceled, and then I guess you and I made a post, or you made a post or something, and we just kind of struck up a conversation and private messages back and forth. And it's really been a wonderful relationship. I tell you, I was looking back, and I was, it's such a business. I guess every business is this way. I don't know, of what have you done for me lately kind of thing. And I was thinking about how, I was doing the show in Virginia, and I was like, hey, you guys should get in on this show. And you guys became vendors of the show. And then you went from vendors to like handling all their media and everything. Right. And then just now you told me that there's another show that I just introduced you to called the Wicked Killer Horror Fest, right? That's happening in October that I'm going to be at. And it turns out you guys are going to be there as a vendor. And Ben just said that, Jeff, you had talked to that promoter, so you might be doing the media for them too. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what we're putting together. At least trying.
That's awesome. That's I'm so glad. I'm so glad that I could help you guys with that, because I remember you guys got me in on a con and called some, I forget what it was called. It was something in the Midwest, and then that got canceled behind all this scandal. So I kind of feel like you guys owe me.
And here you are.
It's not quite the equal trade, but but let me know if you hear of any other cons.
Well,
definitely.
Speaking of cons, you have a full roster going on.
I do. I've been very, very fortunate this year. I have just been really busting hump. I think I had 14 cons total. I've already done 2. Most of them are in the middle of the year, summertime. And I think agents got me of the 14 cons that we have. I think that agents got me a total of 3. and me and my team got me the rest, the other 11. One guy on my team got me 2 of them through making calls through this comic book and toy store. What do I want to say? Not routine, but a tour. So last year I went on this Dork tour. I came on the show to tell you I did 19 stores in 25 days, and it was different comic book and toy stores throughout the country. It started in Rhode Island. It went all through the New England area, through the Midwest, and then back across the country, Kansas, Nebraska, back towards Vegas. And then this year, and I almost died. I mean, not when I say died, I had car issues. I was exhausted by the time it was done. You know, it was 3 weeks.
Imagine.
And
Krispy Kreme issues.
Kreme issues. No, those came later. But but then I said, to my friend who was helping me with the tour, who started to help me this year. Now he's not helping me now. But it started with, hey, let's do this 4 times, And, as I'm looking at it now, as I'm starting to book it, and it looks like I'm going to wind up doing all of it myself now, but, or with the help of one other person who's stepping in last minute. But it's a lot of work, man. And it's normally a lot of work, just, what I'm doing anyway. But now to do like even more, like it's going to be triple the amount of work. But we got to do it, got to be done. I was inspired by Dominic Pace. Do you guys know who Dominic Pace is?
No.
Yeah.
I don't.
You do?
Yeah.
Who?
Leo would, yeah.
He's no, he was on one of the Star Wars shows, right?
Right. He played Gecko in Mandalorian. And he wears a mask. I don't know how long he was in the episode, but all I know is a couple years when I came back into doing cons again after an 8-year hiatus of not doing them, I kept seeing this guy everywhere, Dominic Pace. And so I was talking to, not to name drop or anything, but I was talking to Ari Lehman, the guy that played the original Jason Voorhees. And I was just telling him how amazed I was by what Dominic had done. Not only was he at all these cons, but it looked like he had booked a comic book and toy store tour. And he called it the Gecko Tour. And I thought, wow, that's incredible. Wouldn't that be great? Because at the time it was COVID-19 was happening and all these cons were getting canceled. And I was like, well, how can I get out there too? Granted, I'm probably about, I don't know, maybe 20 years older than Dominic. And honestly, it's not easy to get around and to drive in cars for long periods of time, because your legs really do start to hurt after a while.
What's your maximum range?
After I just did Vegas to Florida in 3 days.
Well,
so I mean,
like a stint, will you drive for 12 straight hours, or will you?
Oh yeah, no, I could do Vegas to Florida in 32 hours in 3 days. Where I just
10 hours a day, okay.
No hotel, just sleep in the car, and just wake up and keep going. So I'm ready. I mean, I'm ready and I'm prepared. But this will probably be my last year doing it. I'd like to keep doing it for a while, but we'll see what happens. In any case, it's a tremendous amount of work. But Dominic said something. I went and saw something, because I'm always trying to look for people who will inspire me, Right. And in my opinion, there's so few in the con world, at least for me, that I see that are inspirational. And there's so many people that are just quitting and giving up and, with just every excuse in the book. And I'm not saying I've never quit anything, but I've never done it as a habitual thing. I mean, if it's going to be something that's totally shitty, like the end result, then I'll be like, that, you know what, better to cut my losses, get out now,
Right.
But if it's just something where something's uncomfortable along the way, I'll stay in it till the end. no matter what, because I believe in, it's part of being sober too. I'm sober 25 years. It's part of like keeping your word, being a person of your word. And it's very, very important for me to do that. And so I'll see this thing through. I was going to actually quit it today, I'll be honest. And then I thought about it and I was like, then the other guy quit. And I said, well, we both can't quit at the same time. So I was like, and then after he quit, I realized how important it was to stay with it, and I don't know, maybe he'll come back. Maybe I'll let him back. Maybe I won't. But in any case, I'll just take it over myself and keep doing it because I'm the one that kind of does the whole thing, most of it anyway, right. And the planning and where and what states. And so
bottom line though is, are you having fun?
No. This part of it is not fun. This part of it is not fun. The fun is when I actually go to the stores and I meet the fans and I have the interaction. They talk about it being the fan experience. It's to me, it's never been about the fan. It's never been about the promoter. It's never been about the vendor. It's never been about the celebrity. It's about people.
Right.
It's about people treating people kindly, with love, with respect. That to me is what it's always been about. And I know I got a little off on a tangent there with the behind the scenes stuff.
No, that's fine. We like it when that happens.
But here was the main point. I heard something that Dominic said recently, and it's something that I know you guys can relate to because you're from the East Coast, and I know you're both in construction, like I was in construction for 7 years, and the natural work ethic is just to get up. And one of the things he was talking about, and I don't want to copy exactly what he said because I actually feel the way he feels, and that is, I was raised on the East Coast where you got up early. My dad owned 17 record stores in DC, Maryland, and Virginia, and you got up at 6:30, 7, sometimes earlier to get to work. And I remember going with him on Saturday mornings, early in the morning, to go into work with him. And I mean, I didn't do anything. I was a little kid, I just brought my little TV and watched cartoons. But I remember years later going and taking my car in and being one of those people that are like first in the morning at the car place, so you can get out and get on with your day.
Right.
And I remember an older gentleman coming up to me and saying, I don't know who taught you to get up this early to bring your car in, but obviously you were trained right. And one of the things that Dominic was talking about was, I didn't grow up with this whole trophy as a consolation prize, second place trophies. Not that there's anything wrong with it. It is what it is, and that's the way society is now, and it's okay. But if you want to do something, if you want to get something done of quality, get off your ass and do it. And you asked me, Jeff, a second ago, if this is fun. I don't think it's fun, but I'll tell you this. This part of it I'm talking about. I'm talking about the planning of it, that stuff. It's not fun, but I'll tell you this. It is incredibly rewarding. At the end of the day, when I am totally bushed and have made all these calls to these different toy store and comic book places, and these emails have sent out, and working with other people that are under me and developing new products, lighters. This year remember last year we had pink balls. Well, we're actually ordering more pink balls because they were such a hit. Right. But we also have like lighters this year, and we're hitting stores this year that we didn't hit last year, and we're going to hit about 75 stores this year.
Holy shit.
In between all of these cons, on my way to the cons, and it's a lot. So, I mean, it's really a lot, and it's stressful. But again, it's the good kind of stress. So, so when you say, so I know Jeff, because I've seen a lot of your posts, you think, well, shit, if it's not fun, why do it? And because it's rewarding.
It's rewarding.
Yeah, and that's the answer. This part of it's not fun. Yeah, this part of it's not fun, but it is rewarding.
Right.
So if it wasn't rewarding, I wouldn't do it.
Wow.
But and
what
that's
makes
it.
fun.
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you what makes it fun. When coming on here and talking about it, and that's good. Like that's a good fun thing to do. You know what I mean? And I always love, honestly, Ben's face. Not that his face is funny. Sorry, I wasn't saying that. But Ben is almost always smiling whenever I see him, and whenever I talk to him on the phone. And so he's one of those guys that just naturally makes me happy. And so I love being around him and his energy. And I look forward to seeing you more also. Yeah, look at those guns. How do you get on the plane with those things?
Hey, you know, TSA, you know, they like me.
Do they? Okay, good. Yeah. They like me too. They're always feeling on me.
Right?
They always, yeah, you know what it is?
So it's not just me.
No, okay. Because I thought it was like they were picking on fat guys, like I was hiding stuff under my shirt. Because I always go to TSA and they always go, "Wow, man, you're sweating an awful lot." I'm like, "Dude, I'm 300 pounds under a sweatshirt. I'm stressed standing in this line. Of course, of course, I'm sweating."
Step over here, please.
Yeah, and then exactly. Step over here, please. That's the next line.
We're gonna mix up that soup and salad for you, sir. Come here. Yeah, we totally went. Yeah, I mean, we know we got a shitload of people watching because I'm seeing the numbers and things. But
oh, cool.
A lot of comments coming in. Not too many questions, so feel free to get some questions in the chat.
Well, what are the comments? What are people saying?
Oh, they're saying hi. You know, they're you know,
hi.
Did JJ see a ghost from Mr. Haunted? Jimmy.
Did JJ see a ghost from what?
No, JJ. Yeah, JJ. Jimmy asked if you saw a ghost when you came on the screen.
No. What does that mean?
Last week he said he saw a ghost. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
That's Mr. Haunted. He does paranormal.
Oh, yeah. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Look at all these other things that are coming on. There's a lot of people commenting.
Oh yeah. So
good.
For our viewers, I mean, if you're viewing and watching and you don't know who JJ is, he's been in a shitload of kick-ass movies. My personal favorite is The Principal. I'm just going to say
Thank you.
I'm going to say
thank you. I worked hard on that one. Thank you.
So I do have a question regarding that. First of all, how did you score a role like that, and how enjoyable was it working with people like Lou Gossett Jr.?
Oh, this is great. This is great.
Lucy. I mean,
oh, this is great. I got some great stories now. Okay, so you know, it makes me okay. So this makes me happy, Jeff. Just so you know, Ben. Excellent question. You know, I normally get questions about Back to the Future, of course, and 976 Evil, which are fine, which are totally fine. But The Principal was a very, very special movie. So I did a TV movie called Daddy with Dermot Mulroney and Patricia Arquette and the late Danny Aiello. Remember Danny Aiello?
I know the name.
Danny Aiello was in Spike Lee movie. He was in, he played the abusive husband of Mia Farrow in Woody Allen's, I want to say Broadway Danny Rose.
Okay.
Did you ever see that? Woody Allen's Broadway Danny Rose? Okay. Well, anyway, Danny Aiello, supreme actor. I mean, supreme. And from New York, Broadway, the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And so I finished this TV movie on a Friday. We wrapped on a Friday. And I was feeling a little down on this movie because the director of it wanted me to cut I had really, really long hair at the time. And the director wanted me to cut my hair because there's a scene in the movie. This is actually some bullshit Hollywood stuff too. There's a scene in the movie where it's called Daddy. It's about teenage pregnancy. Mm-hmm. And Dermot Mulroney basically gets Patricia Arquette pregnant. Danny Aiello plays the teacher. I play his best friend. And in it, you know, it's the typical high school. Hey, how you doing? We're going to leave. You going to Wendy's party Saturday night? Yeah, it's going to be great. You know, that kind of thing, right? Yeah. And then in the end, what's supposed to happen, because he's now a teenage father, is I'm supposed to come back from college years later, you know, a couple years later, very mature, and I'm supposed to go into this ice cream parlor where he had to get a job, right, to support his family. And I'm supposed to come in there, and we're supposed to have a tense moment where we no longer relate to one another anymore, right? And the director asked me to cut my hair, and I was like, you knew my hair was this length when you hired me, and you never asked me to cut it. And there's lots of things I can do, man. I can put it in a ponytail, like Leo Pond. I can. Do you not have a ponytail?
No.
Oh, okay.
In the 90s, though, I did.
Okay. Well, that's what I'm talking about. In the 90s.
Yeah, not the kind of ponytail you're thinking of, anyway.
So, the pony. So anyway, now I've lost my train of thought. Now I'm thinking about a ponytail. So the pony. So I said, I could put my hair in a ponytail. We could put me in boots and a trench coat and just, make me look older. You know what I mean? And he was like, "No, I really need you to cut my hair. I really need you to cut your hair." And I was like, I can't do it right now. Now I'm up for another movie, and they want me with long hair, and I can't do it. And what this guy did, his name's John Hertzfeld. He was such a son of a bitch. I know you guys love me on here because I trash other people, but his name was John Hertzfeld, and his claim to fame was he directed a movie with John Travolta, and I'm sure one of you guys could look it up, but I think it was the one with John Travolta and Jamie Lee Curtis where they were both like aerobics instructors or something. I don't remember, but anyway, he directed a movie with John Travolta. That was his claim to fame. And so what he wound up doing was one of the other guys in the movie that was supposed to be just a background friend, he kept giving him my lines. And eventually that guy got the scene in the end, coming back in the ice cream parlor, and not me. Wow. And, I guess that's Hollywood. I wrapped that on a Friday and was bummed out about it, like I say, that this whole thing happened. I go in and I audition for the principal. And I remember going in there, and I had I don't have any hair now, but I had a hairnet with the little black bead right here on my forehead. You know what I'm talking about? From the hairnet?
Yeah.
A little black bead. And so I had this hairnet on when I went in, and I said hi to everybody, and they wanted to be chatty. And I remember saying, "Can I read first? And then we can talk about it." And they said, "Sure." So I went back outside. I closed the door. And then I remember sticking my hand. It's a rape scene, just so you know. I'm raping a teacher.
Yeah.
So I reached my hand inside the door. I opened it up just a little bit. I turned off the lights in the room, and then I shut the door. And then I burst through the door and went and did the scene. And obviously you can't beat up the people in the room, right? So I brought in a phone book with me. So if any actors are listening, this is really good advice too. I brought a phone book in with me, and I proceeded to beat the shit out of this phone book and like tear it apart and pound on it. And I remember saying to the casting director, "You think I won't touch you? You think I won't touch you?" And then I grabbed her hand and tried to get her to touch my, Johnson. And she pulled back, and I said, "Oh yeah?" And I just took it so personally that she took it back and was so revolted and wanting to touch me that I proceeded to just beat the shit out of this phone book, and I got the part. So that's how I got the part. So I don't know. I always thought that was kind of a cool story.
Right.
But that actually happened while I was filming Daddy. Right. And that's when they told me to leave my hair. The next day after I wrapped on the Friday, on Saturday, they asked me to go back. And I met with Christopher Kane, who was the director of The Principal. Mm-hmm. And he was the one that directed Young Guns.
Yep.
And he directed, I think he directed That Was Then, This Is Now with Craig Sheffer and Emilio Estevez. But he had directed a number of things. And he did Young Guns afterwards. Mm-hmm. But he was I remember meeting him, and he said to me, I said, "Hey, how you doing?" And he goes, "Good." And he goes, "Okay, thanks for coming in." And I was like, "But that's it?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I thought it was like I didn't get it, you know. He's like, "Yeah, I just wanted to make sure you looked young enough to play the part. I'll see you in Oakland on Monday." I was like, "Monday?" And so I went home and told my agent, you know what he said, and sure enough, they worked out the deal Saturday and Sunday. And on Monday, I was on a plane to Oakland to go shoot the principal. Working with Lou Gossett, I don't want to say too much about this, but Lou Gossett was great to work with. But Jim Belushi and I had some battles. We had two really strong battles in front of the set.
Right.
I mean, on the set. And there's a scene in the movie. You know the scene where, okay, so to set up the scene, the day before, you know the opening of the movie?
Yep.
Where I am being chased down the street by the black gang. I mean, it's a race war movie,
Yeah.
but I'm being chased down the street by the black gang, and I hop this fence. Well, that's really me hopping the fence, and my butt looks great in those jeans. They've never looked better than in those jeans. So, Jeff, you may want to take a look at that. And
I'll have to pause.
and so then after that, they come crashing through this fence.
Yep.
And they drag me. Actually, it's not me in quotes. That's my stunt double, right? And then I roll off this fence, and I get into a fight with this black dude. I forget his name. Great, really nice guy, sweet guy. But he, talk about quitting. He was a guy who actually wound up staying with acting. But I remember him saying, "Well, if I don't get anything else by the time I'm 19, I'm just going to go join the Navy." And I thought, again, when you're an actor, it's either where you belong or it's not. And there's so many other people that want it so badly that if you're just, every day wondering what's all this is for, especially if you're new, like if you're under 5 years trying to be an actress and you keep going, "Gee, I wonder if this is really worth it," you haven't put in near the time and the dues and energy and effort that really need to go into it. So I hope I've helped some of you leave the industry if you're not willing to give it, your all. This guy actually went on. His name was Emil. Troy Winbush is the actor's name, and he was actually in. That's Belushi right there. Oh yeah, here you go. Here's the scene.
Leo found it. Are we gonna get
This is
sued for
funny.
Leo?
This is funny.
No audio, so hopefully not.
Okay, well, there's music playing right now. He then sees me coming down the street, I think, and I think he even thinks to himself, "There's a moment. Oh, they missed me climbing the fence. Oh, there I am. There you go. Boom.
Yeah, you got to rewind that for Jeff. He likes the fence scene.
Yeah.
So you can see my butt. There it is. Boom. Look at me climb that fence, man. Shoot. I couldn't even walk around that fence right now. Anyway, so we did that scene, and Belushi comes along. Now, the other guy, Troy Winbush, he's a big dude. He's about the same height and size as Belushi. And so Belushi comes along and takes one hand. You know how you would separate two little kids, like having a little fight?
Yeah.
One guy could get in between the two of them and hold them back with one hand. I mean, we were like high school age, there's no way you're going to hold us back. So I said something like, this is ridiculous. This isn't real at all. So he took offense to that. And the next day we're doing a scene where he's bringing us into the principal's office, and he kept letting go of me as we were going into the principal's office. And when he would let go of me, I would start to back up and walk out of the principal's office, and so they kept yelling cut. So they yelled cut one time. They're like, "Hey, you guys need to stay closer together." So we went back and started again. they yelled action. We did it again, and same thing. He let go of me, and I started walking backwards, and they yelled cut, and they said, JJ, you need to stay closer to the pack. So now I knew they were talking about me. So I said, and it wasn't my first movie. So I said, okay, tell me where my end mark is. So I looked down. They said, okay, don't go past this, right? And so I looked down. I said, okay, I can't go past this. I can't go past. Okay, got it. So we go and we do another take. And what happens is I start stepping backwards now instead of off to the side, out of frame. Okay. So we start stepping. So we do it again and start stepping backwards because, again, he let go of me. And they yell cut. And they're like, JJ, you're blocked by the shadow or something like that. So this is normal. This kind of stuff happens all the time. It's not a big deal. You just correct it, and make sure you aren't being blocked by the shadow. You find your light is what the expression is. So I go back to set up, and Belushi says to me, look, man, if you don't get it right this time, then they're just going to cut right to the scene in the principal's office. I said, look, man, why don't you just do your job and I'll do mine? And this pissed him off, and it pissed him off so bad that he grabbed me behind my neck, and he grabbed the other guy, Troy, behind his neck, and he walks into the principal's office, and he goes, is this the principal's office? And he still got his hands around our neck like he wants, and it's tight, man. Fucker is gripping me. You know what I mean? So they say, yeah, it's over here. And he pushes me over, and he pushes the other guy over, and they yell cut. And I think to myself, God damn it, this guy, how great is he? He manipulated me to manipulate him. Maybe he's a great actor. And while I'm getting ready to go up to him and give him a hug and say, thank you, man, that was great, he takes off his gloves and he slams them down and he goes, God damn it, this scene isn't about you. It's about, and I said, well, it's not about you. It's about three people. There's three people in the scene. And he goes, but it's not about you. You young actors, you think you know everything and blah, blah, blah. And at that moment, I had lost all respect for the guy. And so later that night, we cooled off, whatever. By the way, that's the actual take that they used in the movie.
Yep.
And we cooled off, whatever. And I talked to the director that night, and I said to him, hey, listen, am I going to get fired? Because I just want to be enemies with the guy in the movie, not outside of the movie. I mean, I've never had this kind of experience before. And he goes, well, no, but I mean, what do you want me to do? And I said, well, can we fire him? And he started laughing, and he goes, listen, he's really not that great of a guy. I don't really like him that much, but you got to work with him and I got to work with him. He goes, I'd rather hang out with you, JJ. This is the director talking. He said, but you guys got to figure out how to work together. So the next day on the set is that speech in the auditorium where he says, I got two words for you. Mm-hmm. No more. And he's talking to he's the new teacher in the school, the new principal, in the school. Right. And he says to everybody, I got two words for you. No more. No more rape, no more arson, no more cutting class, etc. Right? He's got a whole laundry list. And it's scripted that a Latino student yells out, I got two words for you, F you. Only he doesn't say F you, it's fuck you, right? Mm-hmm. So the director looks at me and says, take the line. And I say, okay, got it. So he says, I got two words for you. No more. And I say, yo, motherfucker, I got two words for you. Eat shit. And he goes, in front of everybody, he goes, is it going to be eat shit or fuck you? And he could have just gone with it. I mean, he did, it wasn't that big a deal. But anyway, the director looks at me and he goes, just say fuck you. And I went, fuck you. So later that night, again, me and the director are on the phone and I say the same thing, but it's mostly out of fear. It's not because I want to quit. It's mostly because I think I'm going to get fired. And so I said to him once again, so listen, man, should I quit? And he goes, JJ, and he yelled at me. It's the first time. And I've told this story to many people because it's a great lesson for all of us. He goes, hey, listen, you signed on to do this movie. Now you be a professional and you do it, and you stop talking about quitting. That's it. Okay. And I was, you know, it's kind of like when you're gonna, the girl's gonna break up with you, so you break up with her first. So
Yeah.
that's where I was coming from a place of fear. I didn't want to quit. I loved working on this movie, and at the end of it, Lou Gossett and I, we had the the way it was scripted at the end was Lou Gossett. I was supposed to come and join the Black Gang in the bathroom downstairs, and we were supposed to try to kill Jim Belushi.
Yep.
But they thought it didn't make any sense because I'm at war the whole time with the black guys. So why would I, the white gang was, why would we join forces at the end? So he said, I'm taking you out of that scene, but I'm going to give you a scene with Lou. And my first thought was, oh my God, I got a scene with Lou Gossett Jr., Academy Award winner, Officer and a Gentleman. Holy shit, this is a dream come true. This is great. And then I found out what the scene was, which is basically Lou comes down the hallway and I take this fake crowbar. I take a swing at him. He ducks and then he throws me through a window. And I was like, well, it's not exactly the scene I was hoping for. I was hoping it would be like one of these, hey, man, you can do better. You can do you can get a better life for yourself or something like that. One of these kinds of scenes.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was it. But I had a great time. I had a great time working with Lou. And I mean, overall, to be honest, even the bad, quote unquote, bad time, it's really been an amazing career. It's been an amazing life. I mean, even doing these tours, a lot of people don't know. I did these cons like 5 or 6 cons, not even that many, 3 or 4 cons back in 2010, 11. And then my mom got sick. Mm-hmm. And I had 4 sisters. None of them were stepping up. And so I quit everything. This was after, I had a 20-year career. Yeah. In case some people don't know this story real quickly, 20-year career as an actor. And then I lost everything in the stock market, the 2000 .com crash. I mean, I was bankrupt, homeless, foreclosure, lost my home, went to jail a couple of times. It hasn't all been uphill. And 2 years later after that, I licked all my wounds, got back on my feet. I borrowed $30,000 and I turned it into $600,000 in 3 years through real estate investment. What you guys do, basically, rehabbing houses, fixing up houses, construction. And worked my ass off, did that, retired at 42. I was married at the time. Shortly after that happened, we got divorced, and I was devastated by the divorce, totally devastated. Shortly after that, my mom got sick. I had a plan to turn that $600,000 into $1.7 million, and I thought, okay, I'm done. 600 wasn't enough, or so I thought at the time. And then at 42, I retired. That was it. I'm now 57, and my mom got sick. Not sick, just older. My sisters weren't stepping up. I had the time. I had the money. I had $600,000 in the bank. I thought, well, I could do this. And the doctors were giving her 1 to 2 years to live. And 10 years later, my mom passed away. Right. So I took care of my mom for 10 years, and I took myself out of everything. And people always say, wow, you were a great son, and that's really commendable, and I got to be honest, had I known it was going to be 10 years, I would have never done it. I don't know what else I would have done, how else it would have played out, but it played out how it played out. But if you had told me going in that this is what you're going to do for the next 10 years, I would have been like, no, that's okay. And I mean, there were many women that I was started in relationships with that were all like, hey, why don't we put your mom in a home and you and I can, have a chance to build another life together and this kind of thing. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't abandon my mom. And it seemed like, you guys all have kids, right?
No.
I do.
Well, Jeff, you have kids. Well, it's something simple to understand. And that is, kids, as they get older, there comes a certain point where they don't want you to touch them anymore, and they want to be more independent, and they don't want to hang out with the family. They want to hang out with their friends, and they become less and less needy and dependent on you. With an elderly person, it's the exact opposite. And there's only one outcome, you know.
Right.
I don't want to start crying, but you know, there's only one outcome, and I knew that that day would come. And when it came, finally, it was June of 2016. I had moved my mom to Vegas in 2014. So she was there for a year and a half. I took her everywhere. Wayne Newton kissed her. You know, it was a highlight. I took her to all the shows, and she was a star on my Facebook page, man. That was like a big goal of mine, was to just make her a celebrity, you know, in her own right, because she gave me everything. I mean, she was very, very hard on me growing up, but I don't think I would have had near the success that I had as an actor in sports. You know, I always had those really tough coaches, and you know, I had those really tough acting teachers. I knew they were not. I had to believe, because it was so much the way I grew up with my mom, that I had to believe that they were looking out for my own good, even though they didn't teach with love, you know, so to speak. And, you know, getting back to who I am today, it's like at 57 years old, people go, I'll be 57 next month. People go, man, you're almost 60. What are you doing tours around the country? You know, this is crazy. You're not in the best shape. You know, you're not in the best of health. Why are you doing it? And I thought, because I can, you know, because I still can. And it's all about getting off your ass and doing something. You know, success is never going to come to my sofa. You know, it's never going to come to my living room.
No?
I've got to go out and kind of get it, you know.
Anything you want in life, you have to go
Right.
get.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why, you know, I kind of like the people that work with me and for me. You know, I worked 12-hour day. You know, when I started working construction, you know, people would come up after 2 or 3 hours and say, you know, I'm hungry. And I'd be like, man, I worked in the movie industry where the average workday was a 12-hour workday. You know, we didn't eat anything till after 6 hours of working. I mean, what, you know, you're going to have to wait 3 more hours. If it's too much for you, then bring your own snacks, dude. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? And I'm so glad that I have that work ethic, because honestly, to take on everything, and that's another thing that you learn as a boss. Ben, you know this. You know, you call 3 guys and you say, hey, you guys want to work tomorrow? Or, hey, Jeff, you want to work tomorrow?
No, Jeff is the one that trained me, so he knows more about it.
Okay,
He used to have to come to my house. We lived next door to each other when I was working for him. He used to literally have to come to my house and grab me by the foot and yank me out of fucking bed.
Okay, so yeah, so you know, it's like, but what's worse is when a guy doesn't want to do it, you know, or can't do it, or you know, you got to go and do it yourself. You know, find a replacement if you can. If you can't, do it yourself, and that's it. You know,
Still
and
do.
I refuse. What's that?
Still do.
Yep.
Exactly. And that's what I was reminded of today. You know, it's like I would much rather have you know, this one particular guy, you know, helping me out. But there's other guys, there's other replacements. I got people calling me all the day, hey, if you need time, I'll do it on spec. You know, I need to earn the extra scratch, whatever it is. And if it doesn't pay a lot, that's okay too. I just want to stay busy. And I'm like, okay, good, because you know, it's on spec. I mean, the whole thing is on spec, you know. So that's it. I mean, you know, everything is always is about working hard, you know. And it's actually I have what are you laughing at?
You know, and that's about it. And I look at the time and I go, so folks, 55 minutes later. He's not done.
No. I'm sorry. I actually am done. That's what I was going to say. I didn't want to be rude because I know you guys like to keep going as long as we can, but I actually have to go now because I have a meeting with the people at Phoenix Fan Fusion, which is the next con that I'm going to be appearing at later this month. Man, you talk about organized and tight and on schedule. These guys have like when you're going to eat lunch, when your panel is. Like I know that other shows do it, but I'm just telling you, it's so. What's the word? Not it. I don't know if it's refreshing or not because I like it a little bit loose, but
right. So JJ, from 7:30 to 7:35, you can go poop.
Right. It's like that. It's like, and the people that know me, again, with this work ethic thing, I never take a break for lunch. I can't remember ever in my whole life, ever taking a break for lunch. When I was doing construction, it was always a walking lunch, always. When I was doing films, in second meal, some people don't know what second meal is. Second meal is when you work past 12 hours, you're supposed to get a second meal. During second meal, just working through it. By the way, a lot of people don't know too, I worked 3.5 years behind the camera during my whole 20-year acting career.
Yep.
So I was always willing to hustle, and I got a terrible back today. My hips, it's hard to walk. It's like I say, I'm not in the best health. I probably should not be going to 75 comic book and toy stores. Hopefully the stores I'm going to are not going to be seeing this and they don't cancel anything. But and it's great because when I retired at 42, I honestly I have all the money I'll need in this lifetime. I don't live that doesn't mean like I'm a multimillionaire or anything. I live a very simple life. I don't really need to do the cons at this point. I don't need to. I'm doing it because it's like Jeff and Leo said before. I don't have children.
Yeah.
So my legacy is the people that I touch between now and the day that I die. Mm-hmm. And the best way that I can touch the most people is through attending these cons. Mm-hmm. And that's it. And, it works both ways too. I'm touched by them also. I have people sometimes that just have amazing stories. And, when people come, they'll come like from 2 to 5 hours to drive to see me or even fly to come see me. And I'm sure other celebrities get it too, but I just don't hear about it a lot because I'm never asking other people that, hey, do people come and drive? But I'm always thrilled, when somebody says to me, hey, I just came here today for you. Or I'm incredibly touched and I'm also a weepy little bitch at this point in my life too, to be honest. I'm very sensitive. I'm vulnerable. I cry at like the sissy little things. It's like weepy, but which is weird because I got taken off of Facebook, which I shared about last time. Don't worry, I won't tell you the whole story this time. But where'd Ben go?
I'm right here.
Yeah, Ben's.
Oh my God! I thought that was a frozen thing. Okay, that's so weird. Anyway, but yeah, and you just suffer a lot of setbacks. The message. My primary message is, despite all the setbacks, keep going, keep moving forward. Don't let anything or any haters or even your own staff get in your head. If people love you and they understand your mission, kind of like what you guys do with Still Toking and the Hellfire Radio and the broadcast and the Dorkening. You too, Leo. It's like there's going to be some people that are going to get it and they're going to come on board and because of the love of it, because of your guys' love and your guys' passion for it, they're going to feed on that, and that's going to be enough. And if somebody on my team doesn't want to be on my team because for whatever fucking reason, then I'm cool with that. I have enough people on my team, and all I have to remember is I have me, and we all have, you guys have yourselves, and that's where it starts. Where it starts. So,
and as we found out at the beginning of the show, that Jeff enjoys having himself on occasion.
That's true. We did find that out, didn't we? And we didn't want to find that out, but we did. And so there's a bonus for us.
Did you say bonus or bona?
No, I said bonus.
Okay.
Just emphasizing on the us.
But thank you, again for having me. And I
Thanks
really
for-
love coming on the show. The opening really is fantastic. So I love to see anything that just where people care and they're improving and getting better. And I look forward to seeing you guys October. I wish it was sooner.
Right.
I'm going to be right in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, you're gonna be in
July,
Rhode Island, right?
Oh yeah, can I just tell you briefly my con schedule?
Yes,
Absolutely.
please.
Okay, I won't tell you all the toy stores and comic books because it's 75 stores and it's a little obnoxious the whole schedule. But the next one I'm going to do is Phoenix Fan Fusion, May 27th through the 29th. The one after that will be Smallville Con, June 18th and 19th. The next one after that will be June 25th and 26th in Georgia, Augusta, Georgia, at Joe Fest. After that, I'll be going up to Mahoning Valley Comic Con in Youngstown, Ohio, July 9th and 10th. And the week after that, I will actually be filming The Girl 2. I got a part in a movie, in a horror movie.
Oh, nice.
So it's my first part back in a movie. And after that, I'll be at Misquamicut Drive-In Theater in Westerly, Rhode Island.
Yep.
These people are so wonderful. Westerly is like my adopted second city. It went so well the first year. This is now my third year that they're bringing me back. And we're just apparently going to just do this as an annual event. So it's awesome. It's 3 nights at Misquamicut Beach Drive-In Theater in Westerly, Rhode Island. They screen Back to the Future every night. And I'm there like 3 hours before the event, before the screening begins for Q&As and signing photos and selfies and things like that. And then after that, that's July 21st through the 23rd. And then after that will be Fanboy Expo in Knoxville, Tennessee. It's the first weekend in August. I forget what the dates are. I want to say 3rd through the 5th.
5th through the 7th.
5th through the 7th. Thank you.
Oh.
And then after that is Fanboy Expo in Orlando, the 2nd through the 4th, if I'm not mistaken.
No.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. And then after that, September's a busy month. So after that is going to be Gamers and Geeks Horror Con. Robert Mukes is going to be with me there. What's that?
Are you still going to do Fall Con?
I'm sorry. I went out of order. The 14th through the 16th. No, the 16th through the 18th.
Yep.
Is Fall Con Horror in Quincy, Illinois. That's right. In September.
You get
and I actually had to turn down another show that I've actually been dying to get into, and that's Crypticon, because I've heard about the show for 10 years, and that is the same weekend in Minnesota. So anyway, hopefully he's going to bring me into Minnesota and Kansas City next year, which is what we had been talking about. But going to do that, Fall Con Horror in Quincy. Then the following weekend is Gamers and Geeks in Horror Con in Mobile, Alabama. And then I think there's a week off. And then I'm going to see you guys in October at Wicked Killer Horror Fest, October 7th through the 9th.
Yes.
Okay, right. And that's in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Right.
And then bringing it on home with Unicon in Las Vegas, and the dates are actually changed. It's actually the 4th through the 6th, not the dates that are on that sheet that I gave you. And that's it as of now. And then in between all that are toy stores and Comic Cons, like almost every day in between.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Busy.
So
well, there you go, folks. We didn't have to say a fucking thing tonight. We just
I'm blessed.
sat here.
No.
Thank you. Did we already do the interview? Just kidding.
Oh, we were supposed to do an interview tonight?
We're just starting.
Oh.
So
Well,
you know
those
those principal Those I appreciate that. Those principal stories are long stories. Sorry if I took up too much time.
No, you know what? Like you said,
No, it's awesome.
and we've known you for quite some time now. But like you said, just about every interview you do is 976 Evil or Back to the Future.
Yeah.
So if people want to know about those stories, then they have to go out to these shows, to the comic book stores, and they have to see you, and they have to interact.
Check the show notes.
There you go.
And check the show notes up above or down below. You can find JJ's schedule there. You can find all his social media that they still allow him on.
Or go back and look for last year's interviews. You told some amazing Back to the Future stories then.
Yeah, and I also told about the Facebook haters that got me kicked off Facebook, which is why I only operate. Well, I won't go into those stories because I remember you guys were on my side. We had like 6, 7 guys on, hosting then. And you guys were all backing me up and on my side. And I was talking about this jerk that got me taken off. And then I guess I crossed the line because I started talking about how as ugly as kids were. And you guys were all like, whoa, hey, oh. You started distancing yourself from me at that point. So I guess we crossed the line.
The camera pan slowly fades away.
Right.
It's like, hey, wait, guys, I was just kidding there. No. But yeah, that's the story there. But I always get sad whenever these things are ending because I don't get a chance to talk to you guys that much in person.
Yeah.
Ben and Jeff and Leo, and anyway, I love you guys a lot, and you're a big part of my con family and my family as a whole. But please don't ask to stay at my house. No, I'm just kidding.
He didn't say we couldn't ask him. Wait. He didn't say we couldn't ask him for money, though.
That's true. I did say that. But now that you mention it, don't ask for money either.
No. But I will take the Krispy Kreme coupons next time you try to offer them up.
Absolutely. That's right. I was trying to get rid of those last time. I really do love you guys a lot, and it's a big deal. In this business, everybody calls everybody brother, and I hate it because I don't know a lot of these people that call me brother, and I don't feel brotherly to them. But it definitely applies to you three, and you can call me brother anytime because I think you guys are my brothers. So,
right
there you have it.
Excellent. On that note, Leo, take us out of here.
Yeah, actually, Jeremy was asking really quick. Do you play D&D?
I don't play D&D, but in 2024, I plan to start promoting my own cons, and D&D will be D&D or Magic will be a big part of the con.
Nice.
That's all I'm going to say for now. But you can find out more information on that. Facebook.com/J.J.Cohen.actor.
Or you can check the show notes up above or down below, depending on where you're watching or listening to us. I did see the comment. I'll give you a tour of the back one of these days. For me, just Google Leo Pond. You find a bunch of stuff. Could be true, could be not. I'm not going to say which is which. I think it was Jimmy that made that comment. I run a little thing called the Dorkening Podcast Network. We got a ton of shows on the network. There's a lot of awesome people doing a lot of awesome stuff and some big things coming this year. I want to thank everybody for watching. And JJ, where do you like fans interacting with you the most on social media?
Facebook and Instagram, either one. Facebook mostly. Facebook. Facebook.com/J.J.Cohen.actor, or on Instagram at the little @ with J.J. Cohen.
Sounds good.
I don't know, man. You wait a minute. You said you get awful weepy. You got a lot of periods there.
Yeah, that's why I get weepy.
Okay, I was just checking. Go ahead, Jeff.
See, I'm a good straight man too.
Wow. Go to stilltoking.com. Find out everything. All our past shows. Is our schedule up?
Schedule is up on Facebook right now. I haven't put it on the website.
Facebook.
I'm lazy.
Oh, so yeah, that's all right.
So go to that page and like that one too.
So go to that one and like that one too. Yeah. And thank you, JJ. It was awesome.
You're welcome.
Finally, appreciate you being here.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah. Leo said you could Google me, so.
Sounds dirty.
Actually, we should Google bomb you, Jeff.
Google yourself, pal.
Wow.
We determined that at the beginning of the show, folks, that Jeff does Google himself.
Jeff does
So-
Google himself
But
proudly.
yeah, no, we definitely want to thank JJ for stopping by in his busy schedule tonight and taking some time to shed some light on some stuff and
Tell
talk
some
a
cool
lot, so I didn't have
backstories.
to, which was great. But no, we love you, brother. To all our veterans and first responders, we want to thank you for doing what you do every day so people like us can do what we do. Stay
Amen.
safe. We'll see you next week.